All right. Um, Hopefully this is working. This is my first stream here, so we're just gonna see what's happening. Yeah. Yeah. Just gonna pop on over to Blender in a bit here. Just getting some stuff set up, and then we will be good to go. Alright, what's up, Terry Davis? Good to see you, man. Alright, let's see. We've got, I don't know how to pronounce your name, man. Like, Mahmoud. I could run that through Google Translate real quick to see how they pronounce it. That would be cool. But it's good to see you in here too, dude. And Bob Quinn, what's up, man? Alright, so guys, I think we're gonna get started here real quick. We're going to be, I don't know, just doing some stuff in Blender here for the Dynamic Machines Challenge. So, right here, I've just got my scene going, right? And basically the gist of this challenge, it's the next one from Punisher, right? Clinton Jones. It's just sort of, you know, the alternate realities challenge is the thing after that. And I'm actually making an entry for this one because I missed alternate realities, and that was really sad. So the whole gist of this challenge is that it's like a giant machine. We're going to have, like, it's the montage is going to be a bunch of different boxes of these, and you just create one of them, and you know, you just scroll all the way through here, and basically you just have the ball enter at a certain frame and then exit at a certain frame, so it can go all the way through the machine, and everyone's, you know, contest, like the ball just goes all the way through however many renders are submitted. So, you know, that's pretty legit. And I'm just starting my whole entry here. So obviously we need to have the ball enter like somewhere over here, and then we need it to exit like, you know, right at this frame, and we just need some way to get it from here down to here. So far I've got this little gnome rig that I'll probably show off in a bit. We've got this whole water trough coming down through here, and then that's going to be going into this water wheel in this house, and I'm thinking if the ball moves fast enough, I'm going to have a little river flow over here and down into here, right? So that way it would make sense for this gnome to be fishing. Anyway, let's just, you know, check this out, right? So as of right now, the ball just plops into this guy's bucket, and he's fishing, right? So he's going to have the fish in the bucket, like the ball will plop down in there and the fish will come out, and then he'll just like kick the bucket over to knock the ball out, and then we'll somehow get that over to here. Or maybe I'll just mirror the entire scene so this can fall down in here, but I don't know. It's not like a full machine, right? But I just wanted some character interaction in here, and this is how we're gonna get it. So anyway, we'll just show you this gnome. I think he's pretty cool because, I don't know, I created him earlier and it's pretty legit. Like, you see this? Just a simple little gnome rig. We've got him going here. That's gonna be legit. So anyway, yeah, that's the whole deal, what we're doing here. And I think I'm just gonna try mirroring this entire thing real quick, because that way we could, you know, it would be a bit easier to get the ball over here if this was a little bit further down. So I'm wondering, are any of you guys going to make something for the Dynamic Machines Challenge, because there are some pretty cool prizes in here, and if it's anything like the Alternate Realities Challenge, it's going to be awesome, you know? Hey, the TNT popping in from India. That's awesome. Good to see you, man. Glad you could join the stream. Alright, so if I'm mirroring this, I need to flip this water wheel around. I think maybe I'll just show you guys how I did this real quick. So this water wheel, I'm just driving the rotation of it with a very simple driver here. It's just the... Here, let me open that up. So it's just the location of this empty that's way over here right now. And so as this empty moves, it just drives the rotation of this water wheel, and that just spins it the entire time without me having to keyframe anything else. It's pretty simple. I can easily control the speed just by like sliding this keyframe around and stuff. So that's pretty cool, you know? Very simple way to get something to spin. So, what we need to do is just set up a little track here. Man, Terry, you just gotta do the challenge anyway, you know? Like, if you look at the Alternate Realities Top 100, obviously you're gonna be a little discouraged, but there's no way you get better unless you actually, like, I don't know, practice a bit. Hey, thanks, Taj. It's really nice, man. I'm glad you like the tutorials. And Bob, oh, honestly, yeah, like, that's sort of what happened with the Alternate Realities Challenge for me. Like, about a week before everything was due, I just saw people posting a bunch of stuff about it, and I'm just like, oh man, I guess I should have made something. But, you know, it's okay. You should definitely enter it, because it's, I don't know, it's gonna be cool. Looks like we just hopped into material mode there. That's okay. We can keep moving. That's the nice thing about having EV in here. Except the shaders need to compile. I was forgetting that part. Alright. Then I guess we'll just move this one over here. And maybe we'll scale it up a bit that way. Hey, thanks, Bob. Yeah, the videos, I don't know. Like, the videos are kind of, like, they've been getting better. I've been noticing it, but it always makes me a little, like, I don't know. I go back and watch the old ones, and I'm just a little off-put, you know? Like, I'm glad they're getting better, but, oh, man. It's just kind of weird to watch the old ones and see how much I've improved since then, you know? Alright, and then we need to scale that one down a bit and scale this one up. That way we hopefully have a full track going here. So we're just gonna, I guess, I don't know, maybe if we let's see how the ball falls into here real quick, and then we'll figure out how we need to animate it. So it falls in about, what's that, frame 120. Then he needs to like push it over, obviously. So we'll give him maybe 20 frames for that, and I'll throw a marker in there. Alright, YouTube just gave me like a little error saying that the stream status isn't that great. So if you guys could just let me know if it's not that great on your end, and then I'll see if I need to fix it. Blender might just be a little too intensive for how I've configured it. So if it's not going all that well, then just let me know and I'll see if I can fix it. So you know, first live stream. I'm not all that experienced here, but it's okay. We're just going to rotate the bucket at this frame, I guess, so maybe we'll give him like 5 frames back there. Key the rotation, and then we'll just, actually wait. We're going to move the origin down here. Cursor to selected, object origin to cursor. Alright, that's good to know. Thanks, man. Stream's looking good. That's good. Alright, so we've got the rotation keyed there, and then we'll just, I don't know, we're obviously going to have to fix this whole grassy slope here. That's just very much a placeholder. There we go. Because we're going to have to move that up so the ball can actually fall in. And then since this is passive, we're going to have to check that for animated. Then we'll move it up and see how we're looking with that. Yeah, obviously we need to have that rotate more. So, I don't know, something like that for our final location and rotation. Which means we'll have to move the gnome up a bit too, but that's okay. And then I need to see if these are set up. Okay, so I've got all these as fluid because I'm going to do obviously a little simulation coming down here to go through the water wheel. Then we've just got to, I don't know, maybe all of these are like duplicated, so we might have to just give that a little bit of thickness and remove the solidify on all of them. Because I'm not sure I can apply solidify because they're all sharing stuff, but that's okay. We'll try switching this over to a mesh for our rigid bodies and see if that helps. Alright, now if we look at that, those should all be meshes now. Then we might have to up the collision thickness for that too. Because if we look at this, the ball is moving pretty dang fast, and it's actually a bit bigger than the trough here, so we might want to just scale that up a bit. There we go. Then we'll, sensitivity, that's a kind of low margin, so we'll try increasing that. Like 0.1, there we go. And that's still not working, so we're just going to try giving them all some thickness and removing the solidify. Yeah, whatever. That's good enough. Yeah, backyard hobbyist. What sort of issues are you experiencing with the rigid bodies? Because like they can be kind of hard to work with. I found. I mean, any sort of simulation is hard to work with, but I don't know, rigid bodies can be really finicky sometimes. So, yeah, trust me, I have problems with that too. It's not just you, man. Okay, we're gonna try switching this one back to convex hull. Honestly, the ball just might be moving too fast for this to handle. Because if we look at this here, like, it looks like it sort of collides, but not completely. So, maybe if we turn on collision margin, if we have this as convex hull, and that's too much of a margin, I guess. So we'll decrease that a bit, and alright, that's still not working. So we're going to hop on over to the rigid body settings here and try increasing this sub-steps per frame value. That doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. Just samples it more in between frames. And that way, sometimes you can get things to collide. Now we can just increase that. Maybe add some more geometry in there, because sometimes it needs more vertices to collide with too. That's still not working. What if we change this from a sphere over to like mesh. Maybe that would change it. No, that completely broke it. That's okay. We'll try convex hull too. Always an option. Because we've got a bunch of different ones. Nope, looks like that's only going to work if we've got it as the sphere for it to drop through this hole. So, that's okay. We'll just... Okay. So, maybe we just need more thickness on the bottom. Maybe we need more vertices. So, you know, all of those are worth trying. And still nothing. Yeah, we could try normals. That's a good suggestion. Just recalculate those real quick. Nothing. Alright. I don't think checking animated would make a difference, but let's see here. We're just gonna drag this margin up a bit again, see if that fixes it, which I don't think it's going to, because that would probably make it collide too much over there. But alright, here's what we're gonna try. We're gonna try lowering the speed to about half. Split impulse, no, we don't want that. We'll just increase that a bunch, bake it real quick, and alright, so it hits this side, but it's falling through the bottom. See that? So, what's this? 1 kilogram. Alright. We're going to try a bit of a collision margin on the sphere here. That might fix it. Gotta delete this bake. We'll try rebaking it again. Alright. Still hitting the side, but not the bottom there. That's interesting, to say the least. Applying the scale. Yeah, that's also a good suggestion. So we can't apply that to a multi-user. So we'll try making these single users. There we go. Apply the scale. Oh, that flipped all the normals. There we go. We'll just hit that back. Alright. Dang, still didn't work. Maybe it's because this one is inside that one. We'll just try that. Because that's also given me issues before. It's just struggling a little, you know? Maybe we need some thickness on this. Yeah, those are some good suggestions in the chat there. Honestly, applying scale works like 90% of the time, I found. Like the main thing for rigid bodies, if you want them to act realistically, is keep it at a semi-real world scale, but don't make anything too big or too large, because it does take the actual scale of things into account. So here, let's look at how big this is. So like that's actually pretty small. So here, I'm going to try copying these to a new blend file, and then we'll open the old one later, right? And see if like scaling these up just fixes it. Oh, I didn't delete the bake, seriously? Okay, we're gonna go back. There we go. Okay, deleted the bake. Go back to the bottom. There we go. Oh man, yeah, that worked. Okay. Let's go. Okay, so now that we've got that working, we can just keep going with this. And Rad Roach, I actually haven't considered doing like private lessons. Like I do a lot of, I don't know, I feel like I don't do enough stuff for the channel already, right? So I don't know, I don't really want to add anything to that, just because I already feel like I don't do enough for my online presence here, so, you know, maybe some other time. Alright, so now we've got that working. Got that going down all the way. We've still got the speed on half though, so we should move that back up and see if it still works. Okay. So that falls down, and then looks like we're running into the wall there. So we will, you know what, we can delete that one. Hey, Blender Made Easy, good to see you, man. It's going pretty good, just working out some stuff for the Dynamic Machines Challenge here. Got some nice, helpful people in the chat that helped me, gave me some good suggestions for this rigid body stuff. Alright, we need to scale all those ones sideways too. We'll just try moving that one this way. And drop that down. And it's not colliding with these ones because they're not the same as this. So I'm just going to delete that whole track and clean this mesh up a bit, and then we'll use it. Now I think the scale on the ball was applied. I don't know, I increased the stub steps and applied the scale and flipped the normals on all these little troughs here, and that sort of fixed it. So yeah, I could think about doing a Udemy course, honestly. I don't know what I'd make it on though, because I could do, I don't know, I did that full rigid body tutorial on YouTube. That was kind of cool. So I could do something with that, but I don't know. Like, I guess it's sort of imposter syndrome, right? Like, you never really feel qualified to do anything. I found that especially, like, on here, you know? Like, when I did that, like, even the MantaFlow tutorial series or the rigid body tutorial series, neither of those I felt qualified for, because I completely just made those because I wanted to learn how to do that, right? And if I knew I had to make a video every week on something, I knew I had to learn how to actually do it before I made the video. So, I don't know, I guess it's just, it's a little weird, you know? Trying to, like, you're never going to be fully ready for something. So I've sort of just started doing stuff even though I don't feel qualified, but it's still a little weird, you know? Alright, so we're going to add another one of these down here. Gonna have to do a lot of, like, texturing work and stuff on this, but there we go. Those local scaling axes are really coming in clutch here. And yeah, Blender Made Easy, that's for the Dynamic Machines Challenge. I'm actually really hyped for this challenge. It's super cool. I am so excited for that final montage, you know? Because, I don't know. The alternate realities one was awesome, so this one's probably going to be pretty great too. I haven't seen, like, too much from the community yet, because obviously this is new challenge. But, you know, I don't know if you guys have seen that one video with the guy where he made the ball fall down into the sink and then come out a pipe. It's kind of cool. Like, if you look up the Dynamic Machines Challenge on YouTube, you can see that. So that's a pretty sick one that I've seen so far. We'll just move that way. Yeah, so what are you making for yours, dude? Oh yeah, got that falling down in there. Nice. Now let's make this a passive rigid body. Set that to mesh, give it a margin and animated. Then we'll try playing through this thing again. Man, guys, just you wait till we add simulation, like fluid simulation to this. That's gonna be awesome. So we need the ball to leave right here. So if we, I don't know, we could just like move this over this way, I guess. And then we'll probably fall into the hole at about the right time. There we go. try playing through that again real quick. Alright, we almost made it. We were so close. Yeah, there's a lot of tutorials out there. Like, I have some that I haven't finished yet. You know, that's kind of the nice thing about Blender. You can always just keep learning stuff. There's so much potential with 3D software that you just can keep going no matter what you're doing, you know? It's kind of nice. Alright, and that goes, and now we're about 30 frames too early, but that's okay. Maybe we could just slow it down by like 0.2. Yo, actually, that sounds sick. Like, having a jungle in here, that would be awesome. Initially, I was actually going to make this sort of like a beach, like a pirate scene, right? But then I started putting it together, and I put the water wheel in there, and I thought doing something with like this gnome, making it very peaceful and wholesome, you know. And shoot, we didn't quite make it into there. 335K. So if we increase the speed by 0.5, just bump it up a little bit. And oh my gosh. Alright, looks like it's angled there, so we're just going to clear that rotation, and I don't know, we'll try moving this that way a little bit. I mean, I guess I could just bake this to keyframes and hand animate the last little part here if I can't get into the hole at the right time, but you know, where's the fun in that? Alright, we are leaving 10 frames too early. So we'll slow it down just a little bit more and bake it again. Oh yeah, throwing some planes down there, that would actually be smart. But, wait. Alright, there we go. Leaving right at 335K. We're good. We're good. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, if this didn't work, though, I would definitely go with some invisible planes. Okay. I think that's good. We're just gonna call that good for now. So now we've just got to figure out how to actually make this look good, right? So, first I think we need to start with, I don't know, the gnome. And then we'll work on this whole thing. We'll throw a fluid simulation going all the way down and a little river at the bottom. And then maybe we'll do some modeling on this house and stuff. I still need to work out the background here because obviously it's up against this back wall, so I don't have a ton of stuff to work with. But I think it would be cool to, I don't know, I need to put something back there because it feels a little small, right? And obviously if we're stuck inside a box, it's gonna feel a little small, but you know, I gotta do something to make this feel a little bigger. So that drops down here. We're just going to throw a location keyframe on this. So this gnome rig, right? I put this together in about, I don't know, like, I think I spent like 20 minutes on this, but it's actually pretty cool. So if we hop into material preview, you know, just very basic gnome. We can control the eyebrows here, right? We can control, that's the head rotation. This gives us a bit of mouth movement. And this controls the hands. So, you know, that's pretty sick. And I don't feel bad about it, Terry. Like, I don't know. I've spent a lot of time on rigid body stuff, so. And I actually spent a bunch of time on this earlier today too. Like, this is my second time doing this full project. The first one broke a lot, so I decided to just redo the full thing, and now it's actually working. So Yeah, you're sort of just seeing the culmination of my rigid body efforts here. So that falls down. We're just going to put a keyframe there. We'll have him like jump a little maybe. Like, bam. That's too fast. I mean too slow. So see, this is the actual super hard part for me. I'm not that great at animation, so you know, you sort of just want him to like get a little excited, jump up a bit, like crazy. But we'll start with the head motion, so. And throw another one in there. Hey, good to see you. Irreversible extents. Oh, put a tree stump under the bucket? That's actually a great idea. We could throw one of those in here real quick. Here, let's just speed model a tree stump. Cylinder, obviously. Call that like stump K. We'll scale the top down. Do that. Just scale it up a bit. And then we're actually going to sculpt this a bit because for natural stuff, tree stump, you know, sculpting is good. Hop over to the snake hook, just drag that around a bit. And there we go. Tree stump. Fix those normals and maybe hey, well, everyone needs an ideas, man, you know? It's good to have ideas. Alright. I think that's good enough for how small this is going to be. Those roots might be a little too long, though. So we'll have to resculpt that. Grab that over, smooth it, you know, remesh. And get that root in there. Very nice. Now we just need something to make this a little more readable as a tree stump. So maybe we could actually wait. We could like sculpt the terrain a bit more. And then we could have the tree roots sort of coming down over the side here and maybe creeping into this water trough. That would be cool. So I guess we'll just blow that up a bit, and maybe I'll turn these particles off because, you know, particles kind of suck. There we go. Just sculpt that to make it a bit better seat for our gnome here. And there we go. That's looking pretty decent in camera view as well. Towards the end of this process, I'll probably throw up another like viewport over here with just the camera in it. And that way we could see how things are coming together. Like, because I have that for a lot of my projects, you know. Just throw a 3D viewport over here where we've got the camera. Nice and easy. That way we can see that better. Then we'll bring that down, I guess. Inflate it a bit. Then, actually, I think I'll just bring this up to the top here. That way it's, I don't know, we could sculpt something in, make some tree roots coming down or something like that. Or some mushrooms, you know, because that's how gnomes work. Just add some good stuff into there. Alright. So now if we look at that, in our camera view. Alright. We're actually going to have to change the pivot for this bucket to right over here. So cursor to selected, object origin to cursor. And of course that moves it that way, so we're going to have to re-keyframe this. Move the location to about there. And shoot. Clear the location on these keyframes. There we go. And now if we set the... There we go, that's working. Okay. So we're just going to delete that and rebake it. Speed should be about the same still. I don't think this will make too much of a difference. But that way it... shoot, never mind. Never mind. Huge difference there, that's a problem. Our bucket just makes it too... It's just too exciting now. Alright, we're going to have to throw a plane up there just to guide the collision. Oh, definitely. I'm going to throw a simulation. I don't know. We're going to have water running all the way down through here. And then I'm thinking I'll have a river at the bottom. And maybe I'll have it like flowing out of this hole or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's going to be dope. Can't just have one simulation, right? Rigid bodies is too simple. We've got to have our whole like... We've got to have the whole shebang. We got to do smoke and fluids and particles and everything. It's going to be awesome. There we go. Set that to passive. And then we will play this back again and see how awkward that looks hitting the side. And we'll actually set this to, where is it? Visibility. Viewport display, that's where it is. Set that to wire so that we can see the ball through there. Shoot, okay. Gonna have to give that a bit of a collision margin because it's a plane. Alright, that's still not working because we need to delete the bake. Now we can play it back and this should work. Unless it doesn't. Oh, interesting. So, we're just going to do that, apply the scale. We'll try applying the rotation too. Goes down, falls in, dies. Turn off the collision margin. That's probably a bit too far. And, okay. We'll just move that way. Oh my gosh. We're so close. So close to getting this working. So freaking close. Okay. You know what? We can just take the top of this bucket down a little. Like, there we go. Grab those, move it all down so the bucket's way shorter. Like that, actually that doesn't look as much like a bucket. But if we move that down, then we don't have as much space for the ball to like get stuck in. So that should work. There we go. We just have to check over here in the camera view to see how awkward that looks with it hitting this wall here. Alright, yeah, because it's riding up on the side here, so if we just move that way. Throw that through. Okay, now we're working. Now we just gotta make sure that it exits. Alright, it didn't quite make it. So if we just take this and speed it up to 0.84, we'll play that back again. And again, didn't make it. Okay, speed that up a bit. Oh, putting a spout on the front edge of the bucket, that's actually a great idea. We'll throw that in there, yeah. That way we can move it a bit up a bit more and still have it look like a bucket, yeah. That's pretty great. Yeah, turn the clip down there so we can do that. And for the spout, I guess we'll just... There we go. Heck yeah. We can just throw a little handle in there too, eventually. Alright, that goes down. Comes in. That moved a little... I don't know, that moved a little too fast right there. Like, see how fast that moves? I don't know, I feel like that's weird. Like, a little too much. So maybe if we throw it down that way. I'm just going to try moving that over to see if we even need that right now. Nah, we're good. We don't need this little collision plane anymore. Moving this and throwing that spout in there, that fixed it. So, never mind. I spoke too soon. Alright, now we're working. And, alright, exited at frame 322. So we're just going to slow it back down to 0.82 on that speed. And hopefully then it exits at the right frame. Okay, when's that? 332. Alright, so 0.8 should give us about another 10 frames. Which actually might be too slow now that I think about it, but what else? Okay. Nah, frame 336, that works. We're good to go, let's bake that out. And now we can get back to the animation here. So, heck yeah. Alright, that's looking good. I am very happy with that. And no one sees the inside of the bucket, so... Actually, yeah, you can see the tree clipping through there. So we'll just bring that down, and no one has to know. No one has to know. Okay. So now we'll go back to our gnome here. So he's got his little jump. I'm thinking I'll have him turn the head right after he jumps here. So jump at about 323. So we'll key the rotation. And then we want him to look at our bucket. Maybe a little slower than that though. And we'll have him move his head back a bit. That way it looks a bit more like he's looking at it. Then I think I might want to have him fumble with the fishing rod a bit too. But I don't know, that is honestly not great animating, but it's okay. We don't have to worry about that too much. However, here's a little trick. We can go over to the graph editor, and then if we just do some ramping with these curves, like that instantly makes you like 20% better at animating. All you have to do is just like scale some of these up a bit so you have a bit more smoothing. I don't know, like speed ramping on your animation, and yeah, instantly it makes you good at animation, so it's pretty great. We'll just do that with the rotation here. I don't know. Freaking. There we go. That's a little smoother. We'll call that good. So, now we just need him to like fumble with his fishing rod. Actually. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I like that. So, it drops down. About right there is when we want him to be like, you know, freaking out. So we'll just do a little, I don't know, This isn't really set up to let me animate both hands, so, you know, that's not great, but it's okay. I spent like 20 minutes on this rig. It's fine. It's doing its job well enough. We duplicate that over there. That is very bad. That's awkward. Awkward as heck. There we go. Okay, so I think we need to clear that as the parent, because we're gonna have to do some animation on here, and I'll just delete this string because we'll do something else with that later. Maybe a cloth sim to make it actually move, but and actually now that I think about it, we should animate his eyebrows too. So if we just go in here, grab both of these, and at the start frame we'll give it a location right there. Give it a location. And end frame location. Just exaggerate that. Heck yeah. That looks great. Nice. Professional animation here. So, now we just need to figure out how to make him fumble with this fishing rod a bit. So, we're going to, I don't know. He obviously like drops it right here, so we could have it rotate down. Actually, we need to key it at the start. Location, rotation. Yeah, I know, the gnome, like, I feel like he's sort of driving the entire personality of this animation. Like, soon as I added him, it just got exponentially better from there, so I've got some pretty cool renders of him too. Or at least, you know, semi-cool. Cool enough for how bad he looks here. But, you know, he gives some nice style to this. I'm actually going to move that over a bit here. There we go, that's better. So, let's go back to the fishing rod. Actually, now that I think about it, we want to delete that keyframe and just have it rotate from down here next to his hand. So cursor to selected, object origin to cursor. Now that's rotating from there, so if we just do location rotation, we'll have that fall a bit more. And then we'll say he. Actually, we only want it to fall until he catches it right there. So it falls. And then we'll have him bring his hands up a little. Like he's pulling back on the fishing rod there. Make that a bit slower. Yeah, there we go. And then we just need the fishing rod to go with that. So move that back there, rotate it back up. He's back into normal position. Let's see how that looks. Maybe a little slower on these. So we'll just. Alright, that's too slow. But if we go over here and just scale those that way a bit, heck yeah. And then we're just going to have him sort of rotate to look at the ball as it rolls down. He's just like, oh. And his head will rotate a bit. I love the little shrinking on his head here. So I've got all these bones inside of his rig. These ones right here, and those just stretch as I move this IK bone up here. So his head just sort of pops up and pops back down all cartoonishly. And it's pretty amazing. Like, I don't know, you could just have him talking here like, yo, what's up, right? I'm a gnome. and he just, I don't know, it's kind of cute. It's really stylized, and I don't know, I just love it. So, yeah, there's that. So we'll have him rotate that way. Might have to do some work on the IK here as well to fix that, but there we go. location, rotation. Have him rotate a little more, and we'll have him look over the edge. Yeah, so if we just key that, and then have him like, you know, whoa, what's down there? Okay, actually that's bad. That's very... Okay, nope, that is... Oh my gosh, that looks so garbage. What the heck? Yeah, stylized is cool. I actually haven't done very much stylized stuff lately, so this is definitely a breath of fresh air for me, and I've been loving it. Alright, wait. We actually need to scale that bone down, because with how this is moving, that's making his head look very awkward. And I could either turn off the IK stretching or just do some manipulation on the scale of this bone, so that's what we're going to do, because IK stretching is kind of the best. Then we'll have this move sort of like a Disney ride, so we'll just have him very ever so slightly move his head for the rest of the animation. That was a scale keyframe. Location and rotation, that's way better. Alright, so let's see about when he leaves the camera. So he's gone at about 290. So that means we want that to be his final position, about right there. So if we play this back in the camera, we have that fall down. He's just like, whoa, what's going on there? And then he just very slowly moves for the rest of the animation. I think that's looking good. His head might get a bit too big at the... Oh wait, we actually could, yeah. We could try a tracking constraint there. I'm not sure how well that would work, just because, I don't know, if the ball is behind him, it might get a little messy, but we could definitely try that. So we can just select that, and then select this. And let's try, what, like a damped track, maybe? What's that tracking it on? X, negative X, Y, Z, Z. Hey, there we go. Okay, that's actually looking good. So I'm just going to incrementally save this so I can go back to it if I want. And then we'll delete the keyframes. Okay, so that's... Alright, we need to keyframe the influence here. Influence right here to be like 0. Throw a keyframe in there. And then about right here, we want it to be 1. That was a really good idea for the damped track, though. I think this is... Okay. Now we just need to maybe turn off a bit of the stretching on this, because I feel like his head is getting slightly too big. So if we just turn that down, and that one, and this is the other one. Alright, so that's a little bit less stretching. Yeah, is the stream freezing right now? 'Cause no, it's saved. I've got it all saved. Then we might want to decrease the influence over here a bit. I feel like it's just a little too much to have him turning all the way around like that. Oh yeah, just like that. And then we need his head to be a little smaller. It's getting way too big here. Oh, heck yeah. That's looking good. Like, I can call myself a professional animator here. Okay. There we go. We'll just close that up. We will do more animation later. So now the question is, how are we going to do a fluid simulation? I'm actually wait. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure I want to do that on the stream, because the stream it says it's having trouble enough right now. So I feel like a fluid simulation right now might not be a great idea. But yeah, we'll do a fluid simulation later. Instead, we'll just work on this stump. We'll work on the stump real quick. And then maybe some hair for over here. Then once we do some more work on the stump, I think I'm going to have to call it quits, because we've been going for about an hour and I have to get to bed. Gotta have a rested mind so I can work on this more tomorrow. But we'll do a bit more work on this stump first. So let's just actually take that, and actually we'll keep the gnome around, I guess. But hide everything else. We lost his hat. That's okay. He can be bald for a bit. Then we'll just do some little sculpting here to make that look better. Alright, that's good. I'm glad it's smooth again. Yeah, Blender is an intensive enough program that sometimes, yeah, it causes issues. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to watch a YouTube video while doing anything in Blender, but sometimes it gets really rough. I'll have to see if I can do some like priority stuff in the streaming settings so I can prioritize the stream over Blender, because I'm fine dropping a few frames in here if it means that the stream's smooth, you know. But that's something to look at for next time. Just inflate that a bit. Oh yeah, that's looking more like a stump. And I think we've got enough detail in here that we can start to remesh for a slightly higher resolution. You always want to do some basic, like, I don't know, you always want to make sure you've got your primary forms down before you do anything higher resolution, because like if you have something that's super high res, right, but you have no base on it, then it just looks, I don't know, it's like having a smoke sim, right, where you can have a super good looking smoke sim with only like 64 resolution in the domain settings, but you could crank it up a ton and have it be super high res, but if your smoke is just like a ball, then it looks super bad because there's no shape, there's no storytelling there. So you always want to start with super low res on like sculpting, modeling, really anything, and then always crank up the detail once you've got an actual solid base going. You know, that's why we start with the motion of the ball and not like the individual grass blades on this hill here. Alright, well, I mean, no one's gonna see these little rings in the center, but we'll throw them in there anyway, just for you guys. Then we'll crease up that to make that a little sharper. Okay, that's a solid stump. Look at that. Render view. Oh yeah, I totally feel that. Like, I mean, I don't do music production, but if I'm doing, okay, so, all right, you know you're addicted, right? If you have Blender rendering something, but you're working on another Blender project at the same time, that's when it gets real bad, yeah. But some of those music writing softwares, like, those get really intensive too, so, yeah, I feel that. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, man. It's good to see you on the first stream, you know? Got a decent amount of people in here, makes me happy. Means I'll do it again sometime. Alright, so we've got that. Maybe we'll just... Alright. So I'm just going to go to the task manager real quick before I do any shading on this stump and see if I can throw OBS to a higher priority. Alright. Set that to high. Hopefully that doesn't break anything. Oh yeah. Like, I haven't done much with Sheepit just because, I don't know, I can usually sit around and wait, and I haven't rendered anything super intensive in a while. So, you know, I haven't done much with Sheepit, but the couple of times I have, yeah, it can get kind of intensive if you're just running it in the background all the time. So let's just give that a new material and make that, I don't know, brownish. That's too orange. We'll just, heck yeah, brownish. Then we'll make this look a bit more like the gnome there. And alright, now let's just throw some noise in the bump here, because noise, texture, into bump, that's like the foundation of all my shader networks. Like that's legit it. Like, you just do that, throw some detail in there, turn the strength down real low. It's like instantly get a far more detailed mesh. This takes like zero effort. I do this on literally everything. It's great. Tom plays Fortnite. Thanks for the compliment, man. I'm glad that you like the channel. Oh yeah. Look at that. I'll just crank up the detail even a little bit more. So right now the lighting on this scene isn't super great, so we're not going to be getting too much over there. We might need to smooth this out a bit. That was a little too much there. Okay. Then we'll just bring that strength back down a bit. Alright, so I might try to find a wood texture or something for that, but for now, I think this is looking pretty good as our render. I'll do some more working on it, you know, tomorrow. Probably do another stream like this where we keep working on this. Hopefully I'll have the fluid simulation by then, because there's no way I'm doing that on stream. Fluid simulations are kind of boring to watch. But anyway, just going to do a final little playthrough of this here. We've got our whole gnome animation there. That's great. Got the water wheel. It exits at the correct frame. We've got it all going. So, I don't know. This is a solid start on this project. I'm glad I got that going. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's been pretty fun. You know, pretty great first stream for this channel. And I guess, I don't know, I'll see you next time I stream. And yeah, we'll just call that good. Peace out, guys.